Okay, so we're all set. This is, I'll let you go ahead and gavel us in.
I get to do that.
Sure. We're officially calling to order the meeting for February 14th, 2025. It's a special meeting by Dixon County Commission for the purpose of a canvass. And this canvass has to do with the results of the February 4th, 2025 special question election. And so we'll do our review and our canvass. Jennifer, I'll go ahead and have you take care of the second item here, which is a review report from election night.
So the grand total, this was at the election day, early voting, and then our advanced ballots, there was 741 ballots cast, and we had 4,609 registered voters total, which brought a 16.08% voter turnout.
Oh, sorry. I think it's 6, not 4.
You guys want to take a look at this?
There'll be a test later.
Beginning. Yeah.
Is that something we'll need to initial that we look at, or is that,
You'll initial the final reports,
okay?
but that's what we started with before provisionals.
I'm gonna just go ahead and finish up.
I brought the total, yes, no. Right now, we're sitting at 425 yes and 316 no.
Okay, so we have that review. The next thing we'll consider is the presentation of the provisional ballots. And on that, we'll have, once again, our clerk will go ahead and give the procedure and criteria and reasons for rejecting or accepting ballots.
Go ahead, Raquel.
Okay, so if you'll move to this paper here, I made a spreadsheet of the provisionals on there. So we had 7 provisionals total. 2 of them came from Abilene Ward 3, 2 from 4-2, Abilene 4-2, and then 3 from Early. Okay. And then it kind of gives you the name, the address, and if you look to the far right, it's the reason why they did a provisional. That's just a layout of what we have going on today.
Okay.
And then the next page right behind it would be something that looks like this. I only need one of you to fill it out, but I wanted to make a copy for each of you so you understood what it is. And it kind of gives you a brief understanding of if a provisional should count based on the statute from the state.
Okay.
So before you open the ones that you're going to accept, we want to go through the 7.
And those are going to be 7 total.
7 total, yes. And then
So,
whoever is going to fill out the paper, you guys would come together and decide whether that provisional would count or not. And if
okay.
it does count or not, then you would put it here because in the lines here, so we can add them up, make sure we have the.
Okay.
We just put it up or something there, man.
Well, I think we all need to look at the same one.
Okay.
So, and this maybe is a little bit of a slower process. Just looking at it, the first one here is, it says a poll worker clerical error. So that is covered under 25-3002B1.
On this side, it has the actual, so it'd be, if that's easier for you to
Okay,
look at the name of it
We'll
and
use-
just the numbers.
okay. We'll use Marcus's record as the official one.
Sounds good.
But this is gonna, and on this, are you putting that it should be accepted as your recommendation?
According to the state statute, so anything that falls on the top area is recommended to count.
Okay,
Anything that falls on the bottom half of the page of the paper is not recommended to count.
okay. So we'll have a chance to look at that. So we'll decide whether to count or not count, and then that's when we'll open them after that.
Only open the ones that are being accepted.
Okay. So this one's satisfactory to me. I'm in agreement.
Maybe move the ones that you're going to accept down here and keep the ones that you decide you're not to on that way.
I'll put them up here if we're not going to take them. Down there for the, okay, the next one is, did not provide an ID. That was, so this one, it says it's expired. And that's also on the top.
That one would be on the bottom one. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth one down.
Provide ID.
Okay.
Is that a poll?
So that's 25-3002. You say it's the fifth one down?
Yep.
25-29.
Right ID.
Okay. So on that, when they do not have the ID, they have opportunity to come back or come in before
Today. The
today,
Mhm.
and then it would have counted.
It would have counted, yeah. So the only
That was the
reason,
only issue.
the only one for the issue for this one here was it was expired.
Okay,
So if you are 65 and older, we do accept a driver's license or a photo ID that is unexpired, but you do have to be 65 and older. Anything below that, it has to be current.
okay.
His was not current.
So,
So if he would have updated and come back in anytime between election day and 9:30 this morning, it would have counted.
okay. So this is one that would not count if you're in agreement with that.
I would agree.
Okay, the next one is the advance was not received. This is 25-2908.
So that one I'm showing on the top part,
Okay,
sixth one down.
advance not received, and that's so,
Do you want to explain to them what that means?
So for that one there, she was a permanent advance, so we automatically send her out a ballot. Then we found out, I think it was day before or 2 days before the election, something like that. She had not received her ballot in the mail.
okay.
So
So should that go in that first line under polls, or does that go over to the middle column?
hers would be in advance,
Okay,
So is it in the
middle column.
middle column? Okay,
so we're in agreement that that one would.
would count.
So normally on those advances, if they're not received, we do have them do a provisional. We hold on to that provisional till today, just in case we were to get their original ballot in the mail, or they would receive it before then.
Okay, so this next one says not registered. So that's down below here.
Mhm.
And that's the third one down.
So for this one here, this one's a little bit complicated. They are a registered voter in Dickinson County, but they are not,
I'm sorry, let's look at it.
I thought you wanted to look at it.
they are a registered voter in Dickinson County, but they were not registered in the city limits of Abilene.
Okay,
So technically, they're not eligible to vote. So
Okay.
we had to put it.
they're outside the voting district.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll put that one as not counting. Next one we have here,
Did you get that one, Mark?
it says the reason for the challenge.
No, just,
Hang on a second.
wait, let me, not registered. That was a not registered. Okay.
That's under the recommend not to count
And
the
in
third
the
one down.
advanced column. Okay,
Well, that's advanced column also.
'cause this was an early voter.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was the one that said city.
Yes, he's just putting them in. So you have like
Okay.
election night, advance, and
Oh,
then your total.
Okay.
Okay, so that one was an advanced voter.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, this next one is also a not registered voter. And the reason for the challenge is they lived outside of the city limits.
Mhm.
And this one was day of.
Looks like another advance. Is that Sheila?
I think
No, this was an advance as well.
Okay.
Yep. This one we did in the office. Oh, sorry, did you want to see that?
I think I've got it here.
Okay, wait a second. So how many do you have so far tallied?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tallied. We've got 2.
3 not
And
counting
3
the
not-
2.
Okay, just making sure we're on track.
Okay. So the next one is a change of address. So that's under recommended. And this was at the polls.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We have 3 recommended so far and 3 that are recommended not to count. And this one here, it says poll worker / clerical error. On the address change. So this is one that would be recommended to count. And was this advance or
It's not an address change or the,
address change? Yes.
oh, no, so that's a poll worker and,
Or-
yep, clinical error, clerical error. sorry.
Clerical error, and that was at the poll.
That was at the poll.
So that one would count.
Yep.
So I've got 7.
So then if you guys, if you want to tally them up.
So you'll total the box at the top and total the box at the bottom.
So here I can go ahead and just put in 4 total all ballots. Just tally.
You should have 7.
I've got 7.
You got 7? Okay, good.
So these will not be opened, and then you guys, when you are ready, you'll go ahead and open the ones that you are accepting.
Okay, so we have. I'll go ahead and take those 3 ballots that we're counting.
4.
There's the 4 that we are counting.
Okay. Basically, what I'm gonna do, Yes, these are the four that will count. So basically what I want to do is just separate the ballot from the
Envelope.
envelope, and then we'll do the count after those are separated.
We don't have to count these because there's no write-ins. These are gonna go through the machine.
Through
You
the
guys will
machine.
follow her over there.
Okay.
Or,
Well, they'll be counted. That's the way they'll be
Yeah,
counted.
yeah. Normally, if there was write-ins, then we would have to hand count the write-ins.
Yeah.
There's no write-in on
Yeah,
them.
there's nothing to read. Something. Okay, so we have these. And then what do you want to do with these envelopes? You'll take these.
Need a motion to accept the paper ballots.
Okay. So I've gone through that criteria to review the provisional ballots. At this time, I'll go ahead and make the motion that we accept these four provisional ballots.
I'll second it.
We have the motion, the second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The next step is now the accepted ballots will be run through the precinct ballot counter. And so I think as long as one of us goes over and watches it is enough, unless
You guys can all
more
go.
than one wants to go.
I'm good.
I think I'm good.
I'll get my steps in, I'll go over there.
Which ones are the ones we are counting? Okay. And we'll go on down.
Sure, a lot nicer now with the machine, isn't it? Yeah.
Another important step here.
In case of power outage, you guys are backed up, so if that ever happened, you'd have current, you guys could still operate, no problem.
Yeah, it's got battery backup.
Okay.
Plus the generator should kick on.
Yeah, I was wondering about it. I thought there was a big generator here.
You may need to also make a motion to reject the three, because it says motion to accept or reject.
Okay.
You see that? Okay. We did the accept, but we may need to make the motion to the reject too.
Okay, just to make sure.
Just so that we have it.
Yeah.
These are the kind I like to sit in on, so
Easy ones. There's not so many.
they're always a good practice run. I think the last time I
Oh, man, the last one was a
had a
long
chance
one.
to sit in, it was a pretty fast one too. I can't remember which vote that was, but the only two times
Had to help.
it's been a relatively quick. Ones that last all day, those are a little tough.
Yeah.
She must have to warm up.
It's a little bit.
It only feels longer when you're just sitting in a quiet, silent room. It's not like I want to just chit chat a whole lot when you know you're recorded forever. So
I know.
tell you what my weekend plans are, recorded for all of you. Headed to Marysville tonight for a basketball game. Those are late
Is
ones.
that today?
Yeah, they start where they do JV at like 4:30 and Bo plays some JV, but then he also plays some varsity. So his games start at 4:30, but then when he plays varsity, that doesn't start till about 7:45 or 8.
Oh, man.
And so we don't get done till about 9:30. So
Or
it's,
later.
yeah, so it's about a 5-hour
I'm tired.
thing every time, and then an hour and a half drive back from Marysville.
Oh,
So,
gosh.
yeah, so it'll be after
Midnight.
11 o'clock, almost midnight before we get home tonight. And then Farah has a volleyball tournament. Our first game's at 8 o'clock in Manhattan tomorrow morning. So it's
Volleyball or basketball?
volleyball.
Oh, really?
So
What's
she's
that? Traveling or
Like,
something?
there's an Abilene club team that she's, by say Abilene, it's kind of like just a team that she's played for a few years now.
Mhm.
And it's got like a couple Clayson girls, a couple Abilene girls, and a couple Chapman girls.
All right, know that.
Yeah, they
That's cool.
play a little off season volleyball, but so yeah, we'll be in Manhattan now playing. So yeah, so it'll just be a
Get a
busy
couple hours
couple
sleep,
days.
turn around, leave again.
So that's a few. That started, but that's the English one that we
You do a drum roll or?
Real quickly, we made a motion to accept, and we have to make one to reject also.
It says or reject.
So we'll have to be able to reject one, right?
So we need to go ahead and also,
I would say, make your motion to reject the
Just make
three.
sure we're covered.
okay, so we did have the motion to accept the 4 ballots, and we have 3 ballots, and I'll go ahead and make the motion of the 3 that did not meet the criteria, that those 3 were rejected.
I'll second that.
So we have the motion and the second on the 3 that are rejected. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. So the accepted ballots have been run through the precinct ballot counter. And so we'll go ahead and have the clerk give the report of those. And I think we can do that in, first she'll give the report of the 4 that ran through. And then after that, we'll have another report for the grand total.
This is the zero report from the machine. So you have to zero out the machine before we can start running the ballots for provisional. That's just right there.
Guys will sign off on that one, that it's all zero. Just initial, it's fine.
Initials from all 3.
Mhm.
This is a grand total from our 450 machine for provisionals only.
That we ran today.
Yep, so there should be a grand total of 4 that were ran.
Okay.
And and I'll go ahead and mention on that there, those 4 provisional, there was 1 yes and 3 votes no.
And then the next one is again from our 450 machine. This is precinct by precinct, so it allows you to see which ballot came from Ward 1, Ward 2, so forth. From provisional only though.
Move our initial
On the
on
front
each page or just the front?
Just the front one.
We need to date it too. Just initial.
I have the
date and
date on
time.
here, right here,
Okay,
but I can circle it.
yep, that's good.
Okay. And the next one, so it's kind of like, do you want me to break it up?
You can just tell them what each one is. Or if you ask,
Okay. We'll use staple this one again. This one is from our software. This is the grand total. If you look on it, it's gonna have a grand total here and that 745. I believe it is.
Yes, 7:45.
the original before provisionals was 741 that you guys reviewed earlier, if you want to look at that again.
Folded numbers. It tells you the grand total and then it kind of breaks it down by election day, absentee and provisional. And then this is the precinct by precinct of those grand totals of what came out of each ward.
This grand total that you signed today will be what you will sign next week during the meeting. Your abstract of votes that you're used to signing. You know what I'm talking about with all the grand totals.
Mhm.
Okay.
That'll be on the agenda and
Yep.
And the stapler.
Yeah.
We have another one right there in the middle. Report, can you grab that?
okay. So the next item, we've done the grand total report, the precinct report, we reviewed and signed. It included the election night totals, but also the provisional totals. Next item is to re-verify the reports. Is everything satisfactory in that regard? So if there's any question, this would be time to bring up any question or ask for any clarification on anything. I think everything's been presented in a very
Pretty straightforward.
Before we
straightforward,
finish, can I have all of you sign the top of this page since that's the one I'm gonna be taking?
Okay.
Put your initials on it of what you counted and did not count.
Yes. My tally sheet.
Date. Today's date somewhere. Thank you.
Just want to make sure we got all this.
That's good.
This is my Valentine's Day present to get to
Yeah. To yourself.
sit in with.
Any there on your,
Yeah.
so just for clarification.
Yeah.
This is Marcus Rothschild. So the next thing we need to do is have a motion to certify the election results, officially certified.
I'll make a motion to do so.
I'll second it. We have the motion and the second to officially certify the election results. Any other discussion or question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. And the only thing we need to do, we can officially end the canvas. There's something else to be brought up. I'll move that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
We have the motion and the second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.